always act on the basis of the belief of what our Declaration of Independence says.
Now let's watch as our own president is now omitting words from the Declaration. The president has given a speech where he's used a quote from the Declaration of Independence. He has omitted, I believe, the most vital part of the quote, and nobody understands why. This is not a small deal, and I want to explain. First, let me show you what he said the first time on September 15th. Here he is.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal,
Endowed by their Creator. And
endowed with certain inalienable rights, life and liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay, the glaring omission there is the one word, Creator. Okay, after we, and I'm sure others, brought it up, the White House insisted the comment was made on the fly. It was inadvertent. It wasn't in a teleprompter. Okay. The White House Deputy Press Secretary Josh Ernst talked about the incident, and he said that, quote, the president is in full agreement with the Declaration of Independence. Any suggestion to the contrary is just silly. Well, it's not. Woodrow Wilson said the Declaration of Independence was meaningless. So why is it silly now that this president, especially when he leaves out a very important word? It has nothing to do with religion, by the way. I want you to know that. We gave him the benefit of the doubt, except 7 days later, the president again, while speaking at a Democratic fundraiser, omitted the one word Creator when referencing the exact same passage from the Declaration. The omission was part of a prepared transcript. Now, they didn't have any cameras at this dinner, so we had to go to the White House and get the transcript. Here is the White House transcript on what the president said. Quote, if we believe that all people are created equal and everyone is endowed with certain inalienable rights, then we are going to make sure those words live. But he goes on, but it's pretty clear that this isn't being done on the fly. Or else there's a speechwriter at the White House that needs to be selling vacuum cleaners door to door. I'm just saying. This is not some sort of oversight. And here's why I feel compelled to talk to you about this tonight. The mail I get from people who are even on the right who say, oh, just shut up about your religion, blah, blah. It's not religion. You must understand why every word was put in the Declaration. It is a very big deal. It is one of our critical founding principles that we do not get our rights from man. We get them from God. Why is that important? In the Declaration, they were very careful to make sure it wasn't Christian God or Jesus or Moses or anybody else. It was nature's God and nature's law. Why? Because they wanted to make it as broad as they could, but make sure that everyone understood it is from above that rights are endowed and they are unalienable, meaning they cannot be changed, they cannot be taken away. If God or the Creator is taken away, where do you get your rights from? If our rights come from other men, then men can take them back. This is about as fundamental of understanding of our liberty. It is essential. It is the reason I made such a big issue out of what Senator Tom Harkin said during the health care debate. Do you remember what he said? I think it was on Christmas Eve or something like that.
What this bill does is we finally take that step. As our leader said earlier, we take that step from health care as a privilege to health care as an inalienable right of every single American citizen.
Okay. Stop.
And as I've said
Stop.
this bill does not...
Okay, look, Congress doesn't pass rights. They cannot pass rights. They cannot create a right. They pass laws. But this is an idea, a notion that permeates our government now. The rights our founders enumerated, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, have become instead the right to health care, right to a job, the right to a certain wage they deem decent, and the only way to provide those rights is to take your rights to the things you've earned. The problem is, these new rights were the rights outlined by Karl Marx and Engels, not our founding fathers. If that is the path we're going to take as Americans now, then let's have that discussion. Let's stop pretending that we're working from the same fundamental principles, because we are not. If the president, who is a constitutional scholar, if the president doesn't understand the critical word Creator in the Declaration of Independence, we're not on the same page. And it has nothing to do with faith or God or anything else. It has everything to do with man seizing power. If you don't believe that we're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, which means you cannot ever change them, you cannot take them, don't pretend that you just forgot those three crucial words. Come out and tell the American people that you do not buy into the concept of rights coming from creators. Defend your true position. That's all I've been asking for, is you to do your own homework. Question me. Look all of this up. Look it all up, please, I beg you. It does nothing if you're just repeating what I say. Look it up yourself. Know it to be true. And then go to the battlefield of ideas and argue it out and fight it out on the battlefield of ideas. Let the people decide. Under those conditions, not in the cover of darkness or not with lies or smears, our chances are very good of winning, because I trust the American people, and so did our founders. Progressives don't.